Welcome to part 2 on acceptance and commitment therapy. In my last post, I spoke about cognitive diffusion and acceptance, the A in ACT, and today I'll be speaking about the other 4 processes. So let's kick straight off. Present moment awareness. This one's not a surprise. We know that this is a problem for us in the modern world. So think about your typical day. And think, how often have you been lost in thought and so lost that you forget where you are, what you're meant to be doing, sometimes who you're with, even the day of the week. So present moment awareness is really about showing up in the here and now instead of getting lost in your past or future. Now, let's be honest, our minds love to replay the past, replay old stories, or worry about what's coming next. And we know we can't change the past and we can't predict the future. So ACT reminds us to focus on being here in the present moment. But this is where it gets interesting. So not only is ACT asking you to engage in the present moment rather than obsessing about the past, regrets, or future worries, but it's also saying that when you're present, you can experience life as it is right now and not as you think it should be. And of course, when you're aware of your emotions in the present moment, you get to choose how to respond. So let's do this right now. So become aware of where you're sitting or standing or lying, feeling of your body on whatever you're sitting or lying on, or if you're standing, the ground under your feet, the feeling of the clothing on the body, feeling of the jewelry on your body, maybe glasses I'm wearing, just that, just grounding yourself. That's one way to be present now. Another way is to use the breath. So let's do that together. So breathe in, pause, and out. And you can do that for a few breaths, just becoming aware, not judging, not thinking, just I'm here now. Okay, then the next one, self as context. That's what it's called. And what it's really saying is that we are more than our thought. And this is a really powerful idea where we recognize that we are not the thoughts in our head or the emotions in our body or the judgments we make about ourselves, but rather we're the observer of these things. So we have thoughts, but we're not the thought. We can feel anger, but we're more than the anger. And a visual that helps is to imagine that you're watching a storm from a window. So you can see the rain and the wind, but you're here inside safe observing. And thoughts and feelings are just like that storm. They're part of us, but we don't have to get caught up in them. Okay, and then the last 2 I'm going to talk about together. Your values and then committed action. So that's the C in ACT. So ACT is not just about managing your thoughts. It's also about taking action in alignment with your deepest values, even when your mind is telling you all the reasons you need to stay stuck or you're fearful. So values are the things that matter most to you in life, and they could be many things, and there are many value scales you can find. So I'll give a few examples. It could be connecting with others. It could be personal growth. It could be creativity, helping others. It could be spirituality. It could be learning. It could be travel. It could be socializing. It could be making money. It could be your meaningful vocation, your close relationships. So basically, ACT will ask you, what kind of person do you want to be? And not what does your anxiety tell you to do, but what do you really want to stand for? So let's do an example. So say your mind says you're not good enough to go for that promotion and people will judge you and you're being bratty. But if growth is a value for you, then that's where your committed action comes in. And so committed action means doing something that's in line with your values, no matter how hard or scary it feels. And it's not about the absence of fear, but it's moving forward despite the fear. So this is where your values and your committed action overlap. So now you've got the basics of ACT. I'll just run through in summary. You notice and you detach from your thought. You clarify your values and you take committed action toward them. You make space for discomfort through acceptance. And you stay present in the moment and recognize that you're not defined by your thoughts or feelings. If you're feeling that ACT can help, try one of these tools today. You could even try one a week. And there are many ACT therapists around or online courses. So this is really just a little bit of a taste about what it could do for you. And remember, you're not needing to control your mind 24/7, but you want to learn to work with it. So it's not that you necessarily have to have as your goal a quieter mind, because that's also quite hard. You just want to have a different relationship with it, a better relationship. Please feel free to share this if it's been valuable and subscribe so that you'll be the first to hear when I post my next one. Thank you for listening.